Hey friends, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about some of my favourite Steam Deck accessories that I've been using over the last couple months, and I'll be leaving affiliate links down in the description if you fancy picking up any of this for yourself. Okay boys, let's accessorize. So first let's talk about Steam Deck docks, which is my new favourite phrase. Steam Deck dock. So if you didn't know, we can connect our Steam Deck up to a dock and expand the kind of ports that it has on it. And this means we can easily hook it up to like a keyboard, mouse and a monitor and emulate like a PC setup, or hook it up to like a TV and a controller and emulate like a Switch or a console kind of thing. The one I recommend for most people is the ivoler. Now, I have to say, I wasn't this for free. I'm sorry. But honest to God, it was the one I was gonna get anyway, because just about everyone recommends this. It just works perfectly, has all the features I think most people would need out of a dock. It's made out of metal, which makes it feel really premium. The rubber inside makes docking the deck just feel really nice and soft. It's got a good bit of wiggle room inside it, which is great if you're using a case. And I've heard that the D-brand kill switch fits inside of this dock too. It has these handy vents on the side just to help with the heat dissipation. An important thing to note is that it doesn't come with a power supply, so you will need to either use the one that came with your dock or buy a new one or use one that you have laying around. It's £49, which is a bit expensive I think for what it is, but most third-party docks that are a decent quality are the same price. So now this may be the same for all docks, but in the instructions to this, it said that this dock can also be used for Nintendo Switch and tablets, which is super handy. On the back, we've got 3 USBs. We've got the power input there, which is USB-C. No USB-C data input, unfortunately. This is just for charging. We have the USB cable to connect it at the top, Ethernet and HDMI 2.0, which supports 4K 60 or 1440p up to 120 Hertz, I believe. Now look, I know what you're thinking. No game's gonna run at 4K 60 on the Steam Deck, you idiot. One of the first games I tested was Persona 4 Golden. 4K 60 without dropping a frame, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now I know this may be really obvious to some people, but I was just really surprised by that. And if you're into like emulating or playing some older games, there's a good chance you'll be able to run them at really, really high resolution and frame rates. And games like Devil May Cry 5 managed to run at 1080p between 45 and 60 frames a second, which is wicked. And that just makes this combo feel like a super powered Switch. Now, if you want to spend less money, you can go for something like this, which is just a generic USB-C hub. It will do exactly the same thing as a dock, but it's just not quite as clean when you're placing it by a TV or a monitor. You'll have lots of cables coming out the top here. I'll leave a recommended one down below. And if you want to spend a bit more money and you plan on spending a lot of time docked, the official Steam Deck dock is great. It's very expensive at like £80, I think. But for that, you do get an included charger. It uses DisplayPort, which enables things like dual monitor displays. And it also uses firmware updates, so it will just ensure that everything works really well for years and years to come. SD cards. So as you probably already know, you can expand the storage capacity on the Steam Deck using SD cards. I was quite skeptical about this at first, but it turns out booting games with SD cards is nearly as quick, if not the exact same as booting off the internal SSD, which is absolutely sick, but you have to choose the right card to get the optimum read and write speeds. So I recommend the Samsung Evo Select for anything between 64 to 512 megabytes. And if you want a terabyte, go for the SanDisk Extreme. These are essentially the best value cards for the speed they offer. The techie aspects to read and write speeds get a bit confusing, but if you don't trust me and you want to go find your own one, you want to look out for Micro SD XC, UHS1, U3, A2, I don't know what that all means, but essentially that's the fastest that a Steam Deck can handle. I personally went for the 256 gig card, which was only £35, as I felt like that was a really good balance between price and storage. If you want to know more about SD card read and write speeds, how that works and how that factors into the Steam Deck, my main man Gardner made a great video all about it. Highly recommend checking it out if you're interested in that kind of thing. Bless your sweet curly head. But yeah, those are also the cards that he recommends. And if you're hoping to get into emulation with the Steam Deck, I highly recommend throwing everything on an SD card so it doesn't clog up your internal SSD Steam Deck stuff. Screen protectors. Okay, so the kind of screen protector you choose will come down to a couple different factors. So you can either go for like plastic film or tempered glass. Plastic is cheaper and less protective, whereas tempered glass is more expensive but more protective. And on top of that, you can choose between standard and non-glare. A standard screen protector will give you the best clarity, but if you use it on a 212GB Steam Deck model with the non-glare screen, you will lose the benefit of that non-glare screen and make it all shiny looking, unfortunately. And if you go for the non-glare protector, you will get the benefit of dramatically reducing the glare no matter what model you're using. However, you will experience a slight drop in image quality. The screen may be a little bit darker, less saturated, and things may look a bit fuzzier and less sharp. So unfortunately, there's no like perfect screen protector for everyone. It very much comes down to the sacrifices you're willing to make. I'm currently using the Protect anti-glare screen protector as I have the 256GB model, and to be honest, I really regret not upgrading to that anti-glare screen, so I thought this would just help bridge the gap, which as you can see makes a massive difference to the glare. And personally, while I have noticed a very slight dip in image quality, for me the pro of the non-glare screen outweighs the cons right now. I do notice a bit of fuzziness. It's hard to pick up on camera, but to be honest, I kind of forgot about it after like the first half an hour. Games are still really enjoyable, things look bright and colourful, and text is easily readable, and yeah, it's just nice to not be catching my double chin every 30 seconds. So overall, I find the experience more immersive and less distracting. It is only a plastic film, so protection is not the best, but it was only £6, and for that you do get 2 protectors, and it does help against just little knocks and scratches. But my God, the installation process did suck. And if you want to go for a tempered glass protector, the BenzoCap one is meant to be great, and Mag Glass do a matte anti-glare tempered screen protector. Headphones. So I'm a music teacher in real life, and I'm really passionate about good sound quality. So I'm going to give you 3 different suggestions depending on your preference and your price point. So all 3 of these have fantastic sound quality and are really comfortable, which is obviously great for games for long periods of time. The Soundpeats Air 3 are fantastic. They are super tiny, which makes bringing them around traveling an absolute breeze. The latest version also have decent noise cancelling, 5 hours playtime, and with the charging case that extends by 17.5 hours. And they also have a gaming mode for super low latency. Next we have the Audio-Technica M50X. Now these are just legendary headphones. You've probably seen them all over the place. Incredible sound quality, great build quality. I've used these pretty much every day for the last 10 years and they have held up incredibly well. The headband is a bit ragged, I know, but again, because I've been using these every single day, it's no wonder. They have a very neutral sound profile, which makes them perfect for everything between audio production right up to just great music, film and game listening. This is the wired version, but you can get these in a wireless Bluetooth model too. And last we have the Sony WH-1000X-M4. Horrible name, but incredible headphones. These are by far the most comfortable headphones I've ever tried in my entire life. The sound quality is really good. Not quite as good as the Audio-Technicas, but I think most people will be more than happy with the sound that these produce. They have 30 hours playtime, but they also come with an aux lead, and you can use these with the lead when they run out of charge. They come with this really nice case too, which nearly matches the Steam Deck, so they'll go great in a bag together. And the noise cancelling on these is incredible. If you're playing while like commuting on a train, or you're just trying to ignore your nagging girlfriend. Mike, the landlord just called. Huh? The rent hasn't been paid for 4 months. What's going on? Then yeah, these will be amazing. So if you plan on using your Steam Deck docked to a TV and you want to emulate like a Switch kind of thing, obviously a controller is a great shout. My personal favorite is the PlayStation 5 controller. It's the most comfortable, just great feeling controller I've ever used. Unfortunately, Steam doesn't utilize the adaptive triggers yet, but that may change one day. Now, I haven't tested this, but on PC, I can use the touchpad as a mouse cursor. And I think you might better do the same on Steam Deck, but don't quote me on that. And for something a bit cheaper, an Xbox One controller is also great. So next, I'm going to talk about some things that I don't have, but I do think would be perfect for most Steam Deck users. The first being a battery pack. So it's no secret that playing demanding games on the Steam Deck will drain the battery very quickly. So obviously having a battery pack to extend the life is a no-brainer. But again, it's important to pick the right one. My recommendation is the Baseus Power Bank, as it's the one with the best features at its price point. But you can go for any brand you like. The main things I'd look out for is that it's at least a 20,000 milliamp battery with a power delivery of 45 watts. A 20,000 milliamp battery will be enough to charge the Steam Deck between 1 and 1.5 times, apparently. If you want more than that, you can obviously buy a bigger battery. And the Steam Deck supports 45 watt charging, so ensuring your battery pack has that will just mean that it charges as quickly as possible. Cases. Now, in my hands, I was meant to have the D brand kill switch for this video, but unfortunately, as you may have heard, it got discontinued because of a problem with the kickstand affecting the battery. Full review coming for that early next year though. But if I wasn't in line to get the kill switch, I'd personally go for the Spigen case. I've heard lots of good things about it, and Spigen is a really reliable brand. I've used a lot of their cases in the past and they've always been great. Also, it's one of the most minimal and clean looking cases that I've seen, which I'm really into. But I suppose the question is, do you need a case when every Steam Deck comes with such a great carry case? I think if you're prone to dropping things, if you have kids, or if you're looking to just cut down the bulk, then I think having like a fit-on case does make sense. But I don't know about you, but I quite like the naked feel of a deck. Otherwise, I just keep my Steam Deck in this case whenever I'm not using it. I absolutely love this thing. I still am so glad that it was included. It's super solid. I think this could seriously survive some pretty serious drops. Skins. So D brand have a ton of wicked skins on their sites in loads of different colors, designs, and textures. They even have like a leather case, which is just absolutely wild. I've seen loads of videos of people using them and apparently they look and feel amazing. I'm pretty tempted by the yellow one, I'm not gonna lie, but to be honest, I really like how sort of non-distracting just the regular black is. Okay, thanks so much guys. I really hope that was useful for you. So these are just some of the things I personally recommend, but please let me know if you've got something that you think deserves a place on this list. I'd absolutely love to hear about what kind of stuff you've got going on in your setup. If you want some recommendations for games to play on your Steam Deck, I've recently made some videos if you want some suggestions, and you can also check out my kind of review, I guess, on the Steam Deck somewhere here if you want to as well. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you really soon. Thanks guys.